could say something for the children. We got to say something for the children before it's too late.
Morning, Mary. How are you today?
Pretty good today. It's a nice day in New York City. We have the sun shining, and every day is a fresh day to do something good. So my name is Mary Carlin. I am representing the EarthSociety Foundation, and we're the group that sponsors Earthday on the March Equinox. It's actually the original Earthday, and I work directly with the founder, John McConnell. And I put up our Earth flag in the background here, and then this is our Earth Trustee logo. And one of the things that John McConnell believed in was that all of us need to be taking care of our Earth, and that we all must be an Earth Trustee.
Yes.
And at one point, we even had a project for young Earth Trustees. So these are children 4 and 5 years old, and they, we need to listen to the children too. So.
Yeah, it's so important that our children have a legacy, and that's why you're here, because then we can know about that wisdom, and everybody can have an example to follow, and that's why you're here today. And thank you so much for coming.
Okay, and if we don't have a safe environment, clean air, clean water, we've really got to do better. And Earth Day started in 1970, and it was originally announced in 1969 at a UNESCO conference on the environment, Man in the Biosphere. And John McConnell made this presentation that there should be a holiday, a holy day for Earth. And he chose the March Equinox. It's a symbolic time. It's a shared moment at that moment of the equinox. And that is when we ring the children's Peacebell at the UN. And at that moment, bells ring all around the world, and we pause. We ring it 3 times: clean land, clean air, clean water. And we have a minute of silence for peace, justice, and care of Earth. And McConnell first had this idea, he saw the Earth from space, and he took that NASA photo and then made it into the Earth flag. We use this now as a unifying symbol. We're all on one planet. We have to do better. And so my involvement has been really since 1980. And it was through my husband, John Drysdale, that I became involved. And he is the one who designed our logo. And shows the sun, clouds, land and water, and the Earth flag. And again, trustees of Earth. And right now, peace is so important in our world. We are dealing with, I think, aspects of a world situation that we're all more aware of now. And people want peace. There are more and more groups who are saying, we have got to have a different way where our needs are met, and not just the wealthy getting richer. Anyway, I had an opportunity to go with John McConnell to the UN, and we met with so many world leaders. And he started this idea that we should have a minute for peace, that once a day, everybody should just pause for a minute for peace. And this was a growing idea that he had. And right before John F. Kennedy, President Kennedy, was assassinated, he had met with people in California who were promoting the idea of a minute for peace. And so John McConnell said, there's going to be a 30-day period of mourning. And then on December 22nd, 1963, this was the winter solstice, they did a global broadcast of Minute for Peace. And it started with the bells from the UN, the Peacebell. And he added the bells from Mount Athos in Greece, and then world leaders, what Kennedy said at the UN 2 years earlier, what Secretary General U Thant said. And one of the things, this got just bigger and bigger, and it eventually became part of an exhibit at the World's Fair in New York City. This would have been 64 and 65. And John McConnell arranged for this bell ringing to be broadcast with messages for peace. And people signed like a scroll, add their names for peace. And again, peace, you know, it starts in the mind, but we're at a time right now where I think it's really critical that we have ways to celebrate. And that's what Earth Day on the Equinox was supposed to be, a time that we could share special, heartfelt moment, but then also joy, music, art, singing.
Yeah, speaking of music, can
Yes,
you
and
please share with us a song that
you know what? Yes, for Earth Day this year, it was a new song we learned, and it's called "We Shall Be Known," and the group is Mamoose. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.
wow,
And
wonderful.
harmonies with the choruses and people singing. We need love, we need kindness, we need compassion. We need a deeper understanding that we're one family. We share one planet. And it's off kilter right now when we just know that with climate change, this is, there's so many issues that we are more aware of. And despite the fact that we have been doing Earth Day since 1970, the first one was March 21, 1970. And that was followed a month later by a big national one also called Earth Day, April 22nd. Now, that was originally called the Environmental Teach-In, and it was started by Gaylord Nelson from Wisconsin. That's where I'm from. I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin, north of Green Bay. I come from a big family. So my first Earth Day, I was in college, and it was April 22nd. It was chosen because it was time that students would be like spring break. And Nelson had been on the West Coast. He had seen the big oil spill, and his idea was, really, we've got to have an environmental teach-in and educate people on what's going on. The UN now celebrates April 22nd as International Mother Earth Day. And of course, we celebrate Earth Days every day, quite frankly. But the magic of the equinox is that it's a shared moment. And for us, the March Equinox is spring, but if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, that's fall starting. So we also then acknowledge the fall equinox and ring a bell at that time too. And the UN itself celebrates 2 Peacebell ringings a year, the March Equinox for Earth Day, and then in September 21 is called International Day of Peace, and that's the other time that the bell is rung. And our ceremony is usually a 1-hour event. It can be at all times of the day and night. Next year, it's on Thursday, March 20, that's 2025, 5:01 a.m. here in New York. And there's been times where it's a Sunday morning at 3:04, but we are able to get the support of the UN. UNESCO has been our biggest sponsor. And sometimes it's a country sponsor, Canada, or, excuse me, Canada, or we've had New Zealand, Austria, just, we're thinking, should we all want peace? Shouldn't this be easy to do? And one of the things that we just said is this: in our efforts for next year, we want to focus on the economics of peace. What are the choices that are being made, and who benefits? McConnell had this other idea, which I've only really been noticing more as through the Henry George School, but the idea of the economics of peace. And John McConnell had this idea of, his focus: environment, economics, and ethics. So we have got to keep thinking.
Yeah, that's a good combination for peace worldwide.
Yes. So
if we all were on the same page, imagine that.
Yes. And just to give a little synopsis, because we do this every year and we've done it for over 50 years, we have had just a whole number of people who have rung the peace bell at that moment, both dignitaries, and also, honoring people who are doing something special. We have given out Earth Trustee awards. If someone comes to our attention who, should be honored. And, we're a small group. We're kind of getting our feet back under us. We lost quite a few of our main people during the pandemic. And the UN itself didn't allow us to ring the peace bell because of, the shutdown. But regardless, we always acknowledge the event. And often we're right across from the UN at the Ralph Bunche Peace Park. It's where the steps go up, and they will beat their swords into plowshares. And that was really the first peace park in New York City. And so it's an easy gathering place. We can see the peace bell. And often we sing John Lennon's Imagine.
Imagine. That's one of my favorite songs.
We have, for our 1 hour event, it's usually small speeches. We often had the Terumi violinists. It's a group of young violin players. Sometimes the UN singers, sometimes just New York musicians who, donate their time for our ceremony. And then we usually have, reports of what's going on and where bells are ringing around the world. And at that moment, then there's a pause where we ring the bell 3 times, then the minute of silence. And I know some years, like one time it was really early in the morning, here was Robin singing during the silence. We're like, okay. One time we had a big orchestra who came to perform. I remember one year, and this is held inside the UN, the peace bell is actually outside in the Zen garden. But when you're inside, it's kind of a low ceiling. And I know one year we had these dancers, I think they were Ukrainian dancers, but the girls were flying so high, I was like worried. And sometimes the United Nations International School has sent children to be part of our event. Each year is a little bit different. We often keep the theme of what the UN is celebrating, if it's international culture of peace or international cooperation. Throughout the year, we do attend events that the UN puts on. And also we take advantage of UN TV, where they record ceremonies and you can actually, find out what's going on. We also participate with the United Nations, this model UN. We've had people who have written essays and entered contests on our behalf. And again, the idea is that what can we each do? What are some things that each day we can be doing, making it a better planet and more encompassing of a loving, planting trees, having a garden. It's day-to-day decisions. That's how Margaret Mead said it. And she was one of our biggest supporters. It was really through her that we started getting all these Nobel laureates, people who signed on to the Earthday proclamation, celebrating the annual Earthday on the equinox. And I just see that this is a time that more and more people are learning about it. We have a lot of allies. We want peace. We want a safer world for us and everything in it.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that beautiful story. Hopefully next year we're gonna be there. Last year I enjoyed being with you all because it was just a wonderful moment. I enjoyed the John Lennon's songs that Alana was playing.
Yes.
And it was just a moment of this beautiful energy that you could find everybody together on one side.
Yeah. But I would like to do one more song for you while we still have time.
Please do that.
From the climate change, and
Okay.
it's to an Italian tune. We're on a planet that has a problem. We've got to solve it, get involved, but do it now, now, now. Help us build a better future. But we need to start right now. So make it greener and make it cleaner, but make it fast, make it last, but do it now, now, now. Help us build a better future, but we need to start right now. No use in waiting or hesitating. We must get wise, take no more lies, but do it now, now, now. Help us build a better future, and we need to start right now.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite too. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's beautiful. Now we have this wonderful recording that we're gonna share with all the people.
And again, I want to remind people, Earth Day 2025, Thursday, March 20, 5:01 a.m. here in New York. We do have a flyer out that gives the time around the world. Maybe you could show it right here.
Okay.
But again, find out where you are at the March Equinox, get a bell, ring your bell 3 times, then join us for a minute of peace. And that's one of the things John McConnell always said. We start with what we can agree on. And all of us have families, children, it's a bigger thing. We're all one, and we need to learn to acknowledge that more and be more tolerant and compassionate. I had a t-shirt, women hold up half the sky.
So yeah, I'm gonna share with you this event that we're doing in Cali, Colombia. Well, we're sharing the screen for a second. I'm gonna tell you about what we're doing there. So we're having the event of these beautiful people in Puerto Resistencia in Cali, which is like a sharing of experiences, and knowledge, and leadership. And they all are going to talk about the environment, and we're going to tell them about the Earth Day also. We're going to talk about how we can impact the world by getting together and having different proposals and aligning them to what we really need. So that's our legacy. And also from October 21st to November 1st, we're going to have a virtual event. So I want to invite you to be part of this event too, and make like a part number 2 of this interview. This project is called Global Nexus of Communications, and we're going to have the first summit where we're going to reveal the power of communication in action internationally. The idea is that we all can, as you said, do our part, do our best. And I like the way you're doing there. And I'm going to share the invitation with this event right there. And thank you so much, Marlene, for sharing with us all your knowledge. This is wonderful. And I just love the way you are all getting together there. And thank you so much for having come to this program. So do you want to say something to say bye to this moment?
No, just thank you so much for setting this up, and good luck to all of us. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mary, Carlin.
All right.
So I think I'll see you next year in 2025, sorry.
2025. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you next time. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, bye.